What is casual racism? Well, it's not when you catch racism on laundry day hanging out wearing sweatpants watching Netflix waiting to switch loads. It's more complicated than that, and today we are going to talk about it. So casual racism isn't usually violent in the traditional sense of the word. Most of the time it's not an outward physical attack. It's the little things, words, facial expressions, intonation, asking a black woman if you can touch her hair. The world is not your petting zoo, just saying. Casual racism happens when you go out of your way to remind another person that they're not white, and also to imply that this difference is not a good thing. Casual racism is being surprised when Nicki Minaj is so well spoken. It's two white girls calling each other the N-word and then explaining that it's okay, their black friend thinks it's funny. It's calling a Latina girl a spicy Mexican even though she's not from Mexico. She's from Duluth. And you should probably stop because living in Duluth is hard enough as it is. Casual racism is a form of forced submission, maintaining and upholding pro-white power structures put in place hundreds of years ago. It's racism! So why isn't it treated like racism? The problem is that casual racism by definition is tossed out willy-nilly, often as a joke or a sniping comment that's sort of glazed over in conversation. It's kind of like when Deborah at The Office claims that The Phantom Menace wasn't that bad in the grand scheme of the Star Wars franchise. You know that calling Deborah out on her terrible opinion will result in a much longer, complicated conversation about the very fabric upon which the Star Wars saga was embroidered. And besides, she might not have meant it. You know Deborah, she's always had an edgy sense of humor. It's easier to just let Deborah have her wrong opinion by justifying it as just a joke, or just Deborah being her quirky old self. It's probably fine to let that bummer Star Wars opinion slide. But when Deborah says that Mace Windu is a lazy Jedi who's only on the High Council because of affirmative action, then we have a problem. Undercutting and reducing people of color to worn-out stereotypes is literally the dictionary definition of racism. Yet we don't call it out or take it as seriously as we should because it's thrown out there with a shrug, a smirk, or a swift change of subject. And in reality, it's actually pretty dangerous to let casual racism just hang in the air, especially when certain individuals witness the seed of a racist idea being planted over and over again in a normalized conversational way. So what about eliminating race-based conversations completely? Why don't we all just stop seeing color? We can all get together and live in that black and white cartoon where Mickey Mouse whistles on a boat. Think of that beautiful colorblind life we could have whistling on that boat with Mickey Mouse. Actually, language like "I don't see color" is also casual racism. When you erase color, you're erasing a part of a person's identity, as well as some of their very real, lived-in experiences. Every person deserves to live outside of the smothering blanket of racial stereotypes. People of color are still fighting for this, for the right to be seen and treated as human beings. You can say that racism is over, that humans in developed nations start life on equal footing regardless of their skin color, but it is patently untrue. The fact that these casual snipes, comments, and jokes are being written off as nothing, that's the visible, tangible proof that the steamboat of racism is still chugging along. And all we're doing about it is whistling. Let's continue this conversation in the comments. If you have a question or a story you want to share, just scroll down and add it to this video. If you like this video, click subscribe. I make a new one every single week. You can also find me on social media down below, and there's another video like this one in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen if you would like to check it out right now. I will see you guys next week. Bye!